In the remote town of Ash Hollow, nestled deep within the mountains, there was a legend whispered among the townsfolk, a legend of the Wraith. They say it appears only to those whose time is near, offering them one final cryptic warning before death claims them. For generations, the townspeople have feared the Wraith, but no one has dared to challenge its existence. Until now. Enter Claire Sutton, a hard-nosed journalist known for her skepticism. She's covered stories of so-called hauntings, ghost sightings, and urban legends all over the country. But when she heard of the Wraith of Ash Hollow, she knew she had to see it for herself. After all, what better story than debunking a myth that has plagued a town for centuries? The town was as quaint as it was isolated. Its streets empty, its residents wary. Claire quickly learned that the Wraith was no mere story to the people here. It was real. They insisted, as real as the ground beneath their feet. Yet, no one could give her a straight answer about what it looked like or why it appeared. All they knew was that when the Wraith came, death soon followed. Determined to get to the bottom of it, Claire settled in for the night at the local inn, her mind racing with possibilities. Perhaps the Wraith was nothing more than a trick of a light, a figment of overactive imaginations, or something more sinister. As midnight approached, the town grew unnervingly quiet. Claire sat by the window, watching the darkness outside, her skepticism wavering as she waited for something, anything to happen, and then she saw it. A figure appeared in the distance, shrouded in mist, moving slowly but deliberately toward the inn. It was tall and cloaked in shadows, its features obscured, but its presence was undeniable. Claire's heart pounded in her chest as the figure drew closer, the whispering growing louder in her ears. The Wraith, it had come, but not for anyone else, for her. As it entered the room, the air grew cold, and Claire found herself unable to move, unable to speak. The Wraith's face remained hidden, but she could feel its gaze piercing through her.
Your time has come.
Claire's breath caught in her throat. She had been so sure it was all a myth, a superstition. But now, standing before this entity, she knew she was wrong. And yet, there was something strange about the Wraith's words, something that didn't quite sit right. It wasn't telling her how she would die. It wasn't offering a warning. It was offering something else. The room began to spin, and Claire's vision blurred. The Wraith reached out a hand, and though she tried to pull away, she couldn't. The world around her faded into darkness, and the Wraith's voice filled her mind.
Join us. Continue the cycle.
And then, in a flash, Claire understood. The Wraith wasn't here to claim her life. It was here to replace itself. For centuries, the Wraith had been a warning, a harbinger of death, but it needed a successor, someone to take on the mantle. Claire had been chosen, not as the victim, but as the next Wraith. Claire's body was no longer her own. She felt herself slipping away, her mind merging with the ancient consciousness of the Wraith. The whispers, once foreign, now felt like her own thoughts, guiding her, urging her to embrace her new role. When the morning sun rose, the town of Ash Hollow was as quiet as ever. The innkeeper found Claire's room empty, her belongings untouched. No one questioned her disappearance, for they all knew the truth. The Wraith had claimed another soul, and the cycle would continue. So, if you ever find yourself in the isolated town of Ash Hollow, be wary. The Wraith may be watching, waiting for the next skeptic, the next soul to take its place. Perhaps it could even be you.